Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the conversation here on Lagos Television. Of course, it's the midweek edition, and it's a rainy Wednesday in the city of Lagos. Again, depending on where you stay. I am Abimbola Bello.
Good morning, I'm Ajibola Ojishola. I wouldn't even know. Maybe it's the weather that is making me to be dull or something.
Yeah, slow.
Yes, I'm trying to boot.
On a slow start.
Or maybe because I'm actually expecting some lump sum of money.
Ajibola, don't attract something to you. Don't let them be following you around. Me, I don't know where you're expecting money from. Good morning, Joy.
Let's just say it's pregnant.
I'm not pregnant because I'm not a woman.
Oh. No, you can be pregnant with
Figuratively,
something. It doesn't have to be live
Well,
pregnancy.
there is nothing here.
10 packs. Or no packs. Good morning, Joy.
Good morning, and welcome to the conversation. It was very windy this morning on my own part of the country where I stay.
No, your own part of the country.
Thank God you said that. And you're going to be lonely for weeks.
Well, I mean, she's already conditioned.
Except on Fridays.
Yeah, Fridays. Well, anyhow, you would always find us around you.
We are together.
And we missed you yesterday. You weren't here, so we stood forth for you. Welcome to the show.
I watched.
You watched. You monitored us from home. Okay, all right. Let's get into the show today. We will start by taking our news points this morning. Let's start with you, Ajibola.
Okay, we're starting from the office of Mr. President. Of course, it's far away in France, trying to woo investors to come into the country. Tinubu outlines the next phase of reforms as he engages global investors in Paris. President Bola Tinubu has outlined the next phase of his administration's economic agenda, pledging to deepen fiscal discipline, entrench transparency, and ensure policy consistency as he engaged global investors in France. Speaking during a high-powered meeting with leading international investment firms, the president said his post-2027 outlook will focus on consolidating reforms already underway while maintaining stability in policy execution. One of the investors had sought clarity on the administration's direction beyond 2027, to which Tinubu responded with assurances of continuity in reform implementation and governance discipline. A statement signed by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, quoted the president as saying the focus remains on policy stability and diligent execution to ensure these strategic shifts translate into concrete benefits for all Nigerians. Tinubu, who departed Nigeria on Sunday for a three-nation diplomatic tour, used the meeting to highlight his administration's sweeping economic reforms, which is said is designed to eliminate distortions, stabilize macroeconomic indicators, and lay the groundwork for sustained and inclusive growth. He reiterated government commitment to deepening reforms across critical sectors, including enhancing transparency in the oil value chain and deploying a multi-layered security strategy that features police decentralization and efforts to disrupt terrorism financing. At the meeting, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, presented encouraging macroeconomic data revealing that Nigeria recorded an 11.2% GDP growth in dollar terms in 2025. He said its performance reinforces Nigeria's ambition to grow its economy to $1 trillion by 2030, adding that the government's immediate priority is to translate ongoing reforms into tangible benefit for all citizens. So that's it. Mr. President is already on a tour. France, Rwanda, Kenya are still trying to woo investors to come into the country and invest. And you saw the figure laid before those investors in France by Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, who is now the coordinating minister of finance and economy. And things are looking good. But then I love the fact that Mr. President did say that although the economy is growing, it's improving, but his major priority for now is how those economic growth can actually reflect on the standard of living of Nigerians. And that, for me, is the right way to go.
Absolutely. I like the fact that Mr. President connected the dots. Connecting the dots again will be, oftentimes we've said, yes, the policies are good on paper, the policies are excellent. Economists will always say, oh, Mr. President and his team are doing good. But majority of Nigerians are hungry. Majority of Nigerians do not have money in their pockets. So all of these things must translate.
I'm hungry too. I'm hungry.
So all of these things must translate.
I'm not like Amici anyway.
All of these things must translate to, you know, the day-to-day living, standard of living for Nigerians. And if you ask me yesterday, Mr. President's appearance showed that, you know, he really wanted to connect. He didn't wear agbada. He didn't wear buba and chokoto. He had his blazers on, and I
fitted
mean,
blazer.
very fitted. Yesterday,
blazer.
Baba looked really dapper. And you know,
like what happened in Turkey.
It looks investor friendly.
Yes.
Today, and there's no better way. Yeah, there's no better way to actually endear people to you than looking good and talking the talk, walking the talk. It was yesterday he fitted he ticked all the boxes, and if looks were to actually make investors run into your country, I think yesterday Mr. President looked really well. And, you know, so let's hope that these trips will not just be globetrotting for Mr. President. There will be trips that will in turn bring prosperity and stability. And I think Mr. President likes that word a lot. That word stability.
It does, it does.
That word features in everything that he says, especially when he's out of the country. So meaning that, of course, the stability of Nigeria is key to investors.
Yeah, very key,
absolutely.
and our fingers are crossed. We cannot wait to feel the impact of some of these reforms, so that Nigerians can actually feel that there's a government in place that cares about them, their well-being, and their standard of living.
Right. Let's take the second story this morning. This one is coming from Senator Adams Oshiomhole, and it is about the xenophobic attacks. Oshiomhole seeks withdrawal of MTN DSTV licenses. The senator representing Edo North Senatorial District, Adams Oshiomhole, has called for the revocation of the licenses of South African companies operating in Nigeria, including MTN and DSTV, following renewed xenophobic attacks against Nigerians in South Africa. The call comes as the House of Representatives on Tuesday condemned the latest wave of attacks, urging the federal government to take immediate diplomatic and protective measures. Speaking during plenary, the lawmaker said Nigeria must respond firmly to protect its citizens, citing the principle of reciprocity in international relations. And Adams Oshiomhole says, and I quote, "I don't want the Senate to be shedding tears to sympathize with those who have died. We didn't come here to shed tears," he said. "If you hit me, I'll hit you. I think it's appropriate in diplomacy. It is an economic struggle." End of quote. Oshiomhole proposed that Nigeria should nationalize MTN and withdraw its operating license, arguing that the country remits significant revenue out of the country while Nigerians faced hostility abroad. According to him, such a move would create opportunities for local firms and serve as a strong response to what he described as economic and social targeting of Nigerians in South Africa. The senator also called for the revocation of DSTV's license, alleging unfair practices and economic exploitation, and urged Nigerians to take over roles currently occupied by foreign companies. I'll leave it there. For me, I do not think this will solve any problem. And just in case, you know, there are certain things that that we do or we say and we really do not understand the enormity of those things. As at the last check, I think MultiChoice DSTV has been bought over by Canal France. Yeah. Canal France is a French company. It is no longer a South African company. But for me, will be the fact that these companies are companies, they're entities. Those attacking Nigerians and other foreigners in South Africa are individuals. I think what we should be doing is engaging their government yes. And not necessarily saying that we should revoke licenses of these companies. They pay taxes.
Are not run by the government.
They pay taxes to the country. They do what they should do. Oftentimes when they've reneged on their taxes, we've taken them to court. And so they are not owing Nigeria. These are companies, and just like Nigerian companies are also in other parts of the world doing their businesses, it is their leaders, their government that you need to face. And you know, I said this thing on Monday, that until the South African government takes responsibility, we're going to keep facing these things. There are no police officers on the roads. You are not putting enough security agencies out there to protect these citizens. They are in your country, especially for those of them who are there legally. You have a right to protect them for being in your country. So when these guys are being attacked, who is protecting them? So I think and I think yesterday the Senate said they were going to also raise a delegation to go to South Africa. That is what you should be doing. Engage their government and other governments, you know, on the continent. This is where you need to take a front, take a position, country to country. If you revoke the license of this yellow company that you are saying, you want to leave Nigeria with only the green one and the red one, we will suffer. It is still us. So certain things just need to be done. I know that when you're angry, you say certain things, but can you take a pause and look at it? If you say revoke those licenses, will it stop these people? It will not even move them. Engage their government to take full responsibility. When you punish 1, 2, 3 people over attacking other individuals, they will sit right. It is because nobody is saying anything. They are being left doing what they are doing. But if their government now decides that, you know what, there's going to be a national policy. If you're caught,
you'll be sanctioned.
Yes, sanction them. Now you're saying revoke licenses of Canal France, Lone DSTV.
For me, engagement, diplomatic one for that matter, is the right way to go, like you rightly pointed out. Even from the body language of Senator Adams Oshiomhole yesterday, it was quite obvious that he was very, very angry with the way and manner Nigerians are being treated in South Africa. And unfortunately for those that are dealing with other nationals from other African countries, they have forgotten the role that Nigeria played when they had issues in South Africa. But it is what it is. I think this is just sheer jealousy. I'll go back to what I said on Monday. That's number one. And for those that are in South Africa legally, why would people want to attack them? In one way or the other, they're also creating employment for your people.
They are beginning to fight back. Not only
creating employment for your people.
Now.
Then if you ask MTN to go, Abimbola, people will be out of market in Nigeria, and that will further compound our problem. So it is neither here nor there. Common sense for me should just prevail, engage, of course, dialogue, and let's see how we can find a lasting solution to this crisis.
Absolutely. Joy, let's take a story.
All right. J. Randle Center wins Global Award. The Lagos State Government's flagship cultural project, the J. Randle Center for Yoruba Culture and History, has won the Outstanding Historic Center Achievement at the 32nd Annual CE Awards held in Orlando, United States. The awards presented by the Themed Entertainment Association are regarded as the highest honor in the themed entertainment and visitor attractions industry, recognizing excellence in immersive storytelling and experience design globally. The recognition places Lagos prominently on the global cultural map, highlighting its efforts in heritage preservation and innovation. The commissioner... Okay, leading the state delegation to the award ceremony, the Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benson Awoyinka, described the recognition as a validation of the state's cultural vision. And she says, and I quote, "The win validates Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's vision to position Lagos as a global destination for culture and tourism." I mean, these are the kind of reports we want to hear. This is a good one for Lagos and, of course, for Nigeria at large.
Absolutely. Lagos, of course, we know that so many things that Lagos does or Lagos is doing that continues to, elicit positive reactions. And the J. Randle Center is one of those places that, promotes not only the Yoruba culture, but everything that has to do with, history, tourism. You should visit, that place, and then perhaps it will make more sense there. Okay, I'm sure Ajibola actually doesn't want us to.
Can I excuse myself?
Ajibola doesn't want to talk about this.
And I think we need to sanction one of the producers of this show. That's Adenike Adebi.
Why
would this be the hashtag for today? There are so many other things trending on X.
Well, she's solidarizing with Arsenal this morning because her heartthrob is...
Oh, with her puppy.
Yeah, heartthrob is he's an Arsenal fan. Okay, this morning, of course, we're talking about the second leg of the Champions League yesterday. That very boring match between Arsenal and Real Madrid yesterday.
Hey, but Arsenal won.
It was a slim victory.
Win is win.
Famzin by proxy.
Rejoice with those that are rejoicing.
Rejoice with those that are rejoicing. And of course, yes, it was a win, 2-1 on aggregate last Wednesday. Of course, that, the first leg of that game was played. It ended 1-1. And of course, last night, Bukayo Saka actually broke the jinx after 20 years. Arsenal finally getting into the UEFA Champions League final. Of course, I think the first time they got into the finals, they were beaten blue-black by Barcelona. We don't know what's going to happen on the 31st of May. But I know a lot of people are waiting to see Arsenal thrashed during the final of that. That would be in Budapest, right?
Budapest, yeah. As long as I don't want Arsenal to cry this season, I'm actually rooting for them to win the EPL. But for the Champions League, it's for the big boys like Chelsea, Bayern, PSG, not for football academies like Arsenal. So they can win the EPL, but do they have what it takes to win the Champions League? Not at all. Because... I don't know.
Okay.
And, our former coach, Abimbola Mourinho, blast Arsenal critics and heaps praises on Arsenal yesterday. And I'm quoting Mourinho now. I have to be honest. I have to speak the truth. For months, I've been listening to these people, these so-called experts on television, telling me that Arsenal are boring. They say Mikel has become too pragmatic, that they only play this defensive football.
Well,
that was Mourinho's style.
Yeah, but give it to Arteta. He's done well this season. He's been...
Abimbola do well by winning cups or trophies.
But wait a minute. I know, and just like you said, the EPL for them, perhaps, of course, they are getting closer to, taking
Or they'll just
cup.
be looking at the trophy like this.
I hope that will not be their lot.
Or they will articulate their strength, if you know what I mean.
Well, I don't know. My heart broke last night. I like Simeone as a coach. I like Simeone. I like his tenacity.
Yes,
but last night was just not a good night for Atletico Madrid.
And I feel bad for Ademola as well. Ademola Lookman.
Oh, well, he's still young. I'm sure you know. He will.
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
And,
don't be Oreo that day this season.
I know you can win the EPL. I'll be praying, I'll be fasting, I'll do everything humanly possible for you to win. But Champions League, we cannot be in the same league. No.
Anyways.
Yes, Joy, we cannot.
We will watch the second leg, again this night of the goal scorers, the
Bayern and PSG.
Bayern PSG. That last week was Paul Zete 9 goals, and I'm wondering where did those 9 goals come from?
So how many goals are we going to have tonight?
I don't know. Usually things like that, you might end up not having many goals tonight. They've scored all the goals that they should score today. But let's see how it plays out. So you can go onto the X platform this morning and catch up with all the boss there. Arsenal fans are actually feeling on top of the world.
And one of our editors, Wumi Ajimoto,
wearing
that jersey. I can't put it on, never.
Anyways, we need to go. That's it on the opening segment of the show. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. We'll quickly gloss over the column for today.